So, man, I really did not want to record this video, but I know that I need to. So, where to begin? If this is your first time seeing me or watching anything that I've made, my name is Taylor. I am a Valorant content creator who has the dream of making it to VCT. However, on the content creation side, I have not uploaded in 3 years, and I haven't made an effort to consistently stream in about 4 years. And yeah, this um this video is mainly just going to be why I stopped, the things that led up to it. Um why I remained hidden or remained, inactive. And where things are going to be going from here. So, starting off with, why I stopped uploading and streaming. Um at first, when I was making videos and streaming, I was just like streaming to my friends and making videos that I thought were funny, right? That I enjoyed to make. Um However, excuse me, over time I didn't really I couldn't remain focused on what I enjoyed about making content or streaming or anything of the sort because I was way too concerned with monetization and turning this into a career or a job, right? And that is entirely due to the fact that I dropped out of university. Um, Despite not having to worry about tuition because of my scholarships and programs that I completed in high school, I was going to college free of charge. Yeah, I still dropped out. Um, and I could have gone all the way through medical school if I so chose. Um, but I really was struggling, to maintain that. And eventually I just decided that I couldn't, right? And despite what was going on in my life at the time, it was a decision to drop out of college, right? Um, it wasn't necessary. I wasn't forced. I wasn't pressured. None of that. I chose to drop out of college. And because of that, I felt like I needed to make up for it by trying to make as much money as possible. And I thought that my way of doing that would be through content creation, which is stupid now that I say it out loud because there are thousands of content creators who never see a dime from from the stuff that they make, right? And for a lot of them, or I would hope, at least some of them, that doesn't bother them. But that wasn't me, right? It was a problem. Um, and with that extra pressure to make money off of the content that I was making, I stopped. I lost sight of what I enjoyed about making it, and it became this added pressure or chore that I never really wanted to do, right? Kind of like, like laundry or something like that. I never really wanted to do it. So eventually I just stopped. Um, and that's why I eventually stopped streaming and uploading. But the reason I stayed um hidden, I guess, is because I convinced myself that I wasn't allowed to come back until I achieved something. and that something was hitting Radiant, being like a much better player. I imagined myself having this, glorious training arc where I vanish and then come back stronger, wiser, and all that stuff. But instead, I did not rank up at all for the most part. I remained hard stuck for about 3 years, despite being unemployed for most of the time. I mean, I was door dashing a lot. Like that was my main source of income for a while. But um, there's no schedule or anything like that. So for schedule wise, for all intents and purposes, I was unemployed. And despite having that extra time and freedom of, what I wanted to do, I did not make the progress that I thought I would. Um, and I started to feel like really like I started to pity myself in a couple of ways. I started to be I started to build up a lot of shame, right? A lot of guilt as well, you know. Just a lot of negative emotions centered around my stagnation, um, and what I feel like is the biggest goal of my life so far, which is going pro in a video game. Which, when I say that out loud, it always seems like I always want to tell myself that it's Mickey Mouse, despite the fact that it's something that I believe in and I want to do. It's just not something that I feel like I could say to, I don't know, any random person and they feel like, I'm a sane human. But that's neither here nor there. I felt like that if I hid long enough, one of two things would happen. Either I would figure it out and make my way to Radiant, or the problem would just sort itself out. Um, but the funny thing about hiding from your problems is that they don't go away. So that ties me back to why I said at the beginning of this video that I didn't want to record it. But this is, half an explanation, but half me facing that reality that I haven't gone as far as I would have wanted in this time span. Um, on top of that, with this hiatus of everything content related, those of you who have stuck around and were sticking around at the time, um, I am sorry. I am so sorry that I did not make more of an effort to be consistent and actually bring or deliver on certain promises on top of meeting certain expectations, right? Not even expectations that, the community that I feel like I was fostering had for me, but, even my own expectations. Um, so, yeah, I'm sorry. I definitely could have been. I definitely could have tried harder. I just didn't want to face my reality of what has been going on behind the scenes. And I just wanted it to vanish. But, as we all know, it's not how problems work. They take effort, action, and attention. And that brings me to where things are going from here. So, I want to be better. I want to be consistent, and I want to be taking action, right? And the first thing that I'm doing is I have hired a coach. You might know him. Um, Dope Eye is who I've hired to hopefully save the day. Not literally, but sort of guide me to my ranked goals or through my ranked goals. Um, and yeah, I want to get into what this next chapter is supposed to be. So I've hired a coach, and I have a schedule for when I want to stream. So on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at around 7 p.m. EST, I want is where I want to stream. However, I know that I've tried to do this in the past and hold myself to a certain standard. So, in the event that I do not make all of these streams as consistently as I want to, my bottom line goal, the least that I will be doing, I want to stream at least once a week. That is the bare minimum. That is the lowest that I will go. I want to stream at least once a week, right? So if I can't do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, then I will bump it down to 2 days a week. If I can't do that, then the 1 day a week, right? But even if I'm not streaming, I will be playing off stream, right? I will continue to grind around the same time every single day. I will have like a rest day or two worked in there. I just don't know which day yet, but it's neither here nor there. Um, and I want this to be a consistent thing. I really, really do. So on top of having a schedule, now a coach. I want to make weekly uploads of like updates of how this ranked journey is going to be going, but I don't want to put too much on my plate, so no promises there, but it is in the air for, potential um ideas moving forward. But yeah, this is me not only facing reality, but taking my goals a lot more seriously. Because I thought one day I'd wake up and it would start working itself out, but um, cold was the water that was splashed onto my face when I realized that was not happening. So, um, yeah, that's that is the last 3 years of what's been going on and where I hope to go from here. So, for those of you who have been here since the very beginning, thank you. I seriously mean that. Thank you. If not for anything else, for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Um, and again, I'm so deeply sorry for not being able to meet you in the middle in that. But, with the upload of this video, I hope that this is the beginning of a bright or brighter than last new chapter. So, here's to the future. Um, Ideally, a consistent one where I push past the hurdles, grievances, and inconveniences, and put all of my eggs, I guess, into the being a better version of myself basket. So, again, those of you who have stuck around to the end of this video and who have been here from since the beginning, thank you. Here's to consistency.